Hello, light seekers, and welcome to this episode of The Process of Heart. My name is Erica, and today we are going to be shining our light into our shadows. With that, let's start exploring. My affirmation for this week is I am light. I use this affirmation a lot when I feel like I need to raise my vibration, when I feel like I need to be reminded of all of the wonderful things in the world and all the gratitude that I have for things. And in addition to having this affirmation for myself in English, I also looked it up in Sanskrit. I just feel like it creates a more meditative state for me personally. So, in case you are ever interested in trying that out, Soham means I am, and Deepika is light. So it becomes Soham Deepika. I am light. As of recently, I have found myself really struggling to come up with what I want to talk about in these episodes. When I first came up with the idea of doing this YouTube channel, I really thought that I was going to always have something to write about. And while I definitely have a list of ideas, I haven't been able to find the passion behind them to be able to move forward and actually complete a video that I feel proud of. So it was a little bit hard for me this week. And what I ended up doing was journaling to help to try to feel into some of that reasoning behind it. And a good friend recently gave me the idea to ask why anytime that I'm having trouble finding an answer until you get to the answer that is really deep down within it. Oftentimes we have to ask this several times before we really get to the right why of why things are the way they are. So I took some time to journal and I came up with several different reasons behind this writer's block until I really found what was causing it. So kind of going down this like channel of whys, my first reason for my writer's block was that I haven't really been living the values that I want to live and that I want to help other people to live as well with this channel, doing things that are really going to help to raise our vibrations and make us feel better, doing things like meditation and yoga and journaling. I haven't been doing that very much. So I asked myself the question again, why? And my answer behind that is just feeling really tired, just feeling like life has just been keeping me down, not letting me get my energy up to where I wanted to really feel passionate about the things that I'm doing. And I again asked myself why. And I said, well, I haven't really been feeling filled from life. So I haven't been feeling filled from my work, from the people who are around me, so many things like that that are keeping me down. And I wrote down in my journal, just life. Life is making me tired. So then I had to ask myself the question, why is life making me tired? And I came up with the idea that the only real thing that I can think of that is keeping me from feeling alive and happy and filled is just still the fact that my dad has passed recently. So I started to journal a little bit more and ended up coming into a lot of realizations about why he did things the way that he did, and ended up writing a really sweet love letter to him and just kind of like talking about realizing why he did things the way that he did, and just that like I miss him, and the things that I wish that I could say to him now if I had realized some of these things then. So um, we're going to talk about some of our shadows. We'll talk about kind of what they are and talk about what can help us whenever we're, kind of afraid to step into the shadows and to nurture that part of ourselves as well. So, since I felt that my journal and the letter that I wrote to my dad were so impactful and a large part of why I'm making this video this week, I wanted to share some of the letter that I wrote to him, just to try to give kind of like I guess, a jumping off point for this video and kind of where the rest of those thoughts came from. So, with that, here we go. I say to be happy, to move on and remember that you are with me, but sometimes it doesn't feel like it. when I miss your physical touch, when I miss your arms wrapped around me in a hug. Your hugs that I never really allowed myself to enjoy when you were here. I could feel your shakes and your trembles, the withdrawal. I could feel your scratchy stubble scraping my skin on my cheek. These were the walls of self-neglect that you put up so no one would get too close. Because you never really felt worthy, did you? All these years, the actions you made that I took as disrespectful towards me or others were actually reflecting inwards towards yourself. The living conditions that you allowed for yourself, the lack of grooming, your disregard for privacy, all because you didn't think you were worthy. But you were, and are, and always will be. Totally and irrevocably worthy. All of the love and light that the universe has to give you. And we all are. The only ones who determine that we lose value is us. The only thing stopping us from receiving the unending love is us. But we are worthy. No one and nothing can take that away from us. You are loved. You are the light. So shine. Facing the shadow definitely proved to be a challenge. And I think I've been putting it off for a long time because I've been scared. As much as I try to feel my emotions and to not shut them away like I've definitely done in the past, I still find myself falling back into old habits or truly allowing myself to second guess whether or not I need to pay attention to these things still. So I wanted to talk a little bit about shadows. So what is a shadow? What do I mean when I say that? A shadow is something within you that you don't want to admit to. This could be a guilty pleasure TV show. This could be, maybe something that you said to somebody that you knew was hurtful and you said it anyways, and you've just always had that guilt that you've held in your heart for it. Whatever is causing you to feel things like guilt or shame or withdrawal, anything that keeps you from feeling good, that you choose to try to ignore rather than to work through, is a shadow. And I think the thing that we often forget is that these shadows are still part of us. You'll never be without your shadow. So just to talk about some of those things that you just, whenever you find them, whenever they come up in life, you just try to push them back down and pretend that they don't exist. They do, and they always will. Imagine you get a cut on your physical body, and rather than cleaning it and dressing your wound, you leave it open and you allow it to get dirty and to fester, and you do nothing for it. That's what a lot of us do for the shadows that exist within us. We forget that these are pieces that need more love, that need more light shined into them. And I think that's a lot of the reason that we have some of the issues that we do in society these days. So here are some notes that I hope will help you to learn more about your shadows and to learn more about how to address them when they come up. When you find these shadows, just make sure that you're not ignoring them, that you're not pushing them back down, that you're giving yourself time to reflect on them, whether it be journaling or talking out loud or praying or telling someone else, whatever it is, to make sure that it doesn't sit in the back of your head and in the back of your heart, that you're doing something to let that shadow know that it is loved and that it is okay that it's there. Our shadows make us who we are. And it's only when we're able to accept that and celebrate our shadows that we're able to truly let our light shine. Because without shadows, there would be no light. I hope that you enjoyed this week's episode of The Process of Heart. If you did, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel so that we can spread more light and love to the world. Until next time, bye light seekers and shadow explorers.